Hi everyone, I'm Denise from Tan Upon Tan Property. Today I'll be sharing on a project called Commonwealth Towers. Commonwealth Towers is a project developed by Hong Leong and City Developments. It attained TOP in 2018 and there are 845 units of 1 to 4 bedrooms with full-fledged condo facilities including a tennis court and 3 swimming pools. It is located right next to Queenstown MRT station, which provides ease of access to town. The last round I covered on 1-bedroom type. Today I'll be touching on the 2-bedroom units. In Commonwealth Towers itself, 32% are made out of 2-bedder units, and do you know some of the 2-bedders actually profited a jaw-dropping 345k? Now, let's take a look at the projects around Commonwealth Towers. First, we have Queens, which is opposite that TOP in 2002, while Alexis is a boutique project that TOP in 2012. Queen's 2-bedders are around 900 to 1000 square feet and has a pretty good size layout that can fit queen-size beds in both rooms. However, the project is already around 20 years old. Alexis itself has either 2-bedroom units that only have 1 bathroom or 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom units that can only fit a single bed in the 2nd bedroom. Hence, Commonwealth Towers appears to be an attractive midway where you can have a brand new condo that is next to the MRT, lots of facilities within the condo, and yet a good sized layout with 2 bedrooms that can fit a queen-size bed. Such a layout is likely to attract own-stay owners, investors, and tenants. Let's take a look at the profit and return on investment of those who bought Commonwealth Towers firsthand. Sorting based on profit, we notice a large portion of the units with highest profit belong to the 689 square feet layout as compared to the 753 square feet layout. This is actually surprising since the assumption is that a unit with a larger square footage area will profit more. Let's take a look at both floor plans. Both have an open concept kitchen. The 753 square feet unit has a more longish layout, while the 689 square feet has a more squarish layout. Hence, in terms of living space, the 689 square feet unit definitely looks more functional. Let's take 2 units on the same level to compare. The 689 square feet unit on Stack 07 was bought at 984k and resold with 309k profit, versus the 753 square feet unit that was bought at 1.16 million and resold with 218k profit. That's a 31% ROI versus 18%. Now, imagine a 13% drop in ROI for choosing the wrong layout. When we compare between both layouts in the rental market, we notice that the rental is almost the same because tenants are unlikely to pay higher for the 753 square feet unit. Now, many investors and buyers also prefer to buy pool-facing units because of the expectation that it can sell with higher profits. Is that really true? Let's take a look. Among all the profitable units, we see that a majority of them are in Stack 6, 7 and 20. Stack 6 and 7 actually face the HDB blocks behind, while Stack 20 faces Queen's Peak condo. I personally transacted a Stack 7 unit at TOP, and this is the view from the unit. Not very fantastic because it's rather blocked, right? Now, we see that the pool-facing units at Stack 17 and 18 made a profit of 77k to 174k. Why is the profit difference so huge? The reason is because of the price premium at the launch. Developers usually place a premium tag onto units with pool view in order to differentiate their units. For example, this unit on the 12th floor facing the pool actually sold at the launch for 1.202 million and was resold eventually for 1.28 million. As compared to a non-pool view unit on the same floor that was bought at 984k and resold at 1.24 million. As we can see, the price and PSF quantum of a pool view unit versus a non-pool view unit narrows at the resale stage. In summary, there's 2 points to learn from this 2-bedroom example in Commonwealth Towers. Number 1. Bigger size units doesn't mean a higher profit eventually. Layout and overall price quantum actually plays a part. As we can see from the above example, a smaller layout may be more efficient and popular against a larger unit in the same category. Number 2, is view important when purchasing it as an investment? As in the earlier example, the per square foot pricing of a pool view and non-pool view unit are pretty similar in the resale market. Buyers and tenants are unlikely to pay an additional premium for a pool-facing unit. So, if you're planning to purchase a 2-bedroom unit, do you know how to select a layout that will give you a better yield and return on investment? Should you choose a pool-facing unit or a non-pool-facing unit? If you find our videos useful, click on the like and subscribe button. See you soon!